So very good morning my friends, students, पिला माने आजी तमे माने ethics and value कोर्स रा प्रथम यूनिट ऑलरेडी पढ़ी सारिच। प्रथम यूनिट जते बेले आमे आरंभ कलु मु आस्थली मु तम मानक संगे सेते बेले डिस्कशन करिथली ये एथिक्स आ वैल्यूटा कौन तार माने कौन आमर प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ रे तार प्रयोज्यता कौन आउ तापरे आमे कहिलु कि सेते बेले कहिथिलु कि आजिर दिन एते कॉम्प्लेक्स हे गलानी बिकॉज ऑफ सो द ह्यूमन सोसाइटी बिकमिंग 7 बिलियन आमे लाइफ so much every development has brought its own complications, and because of these complications there are myriad of issues which are conflicting with each other, and it is necessary to have a clarity in by understanding what is right today and what is wrong today, and that is ethics. And the value system is at the point as an individual mu kon karibi kouta right kouta wrong ajira परिप्रेक्ष्य रे सेटा मु डिसाइड करिबी। तेणु एटा आजिर दुनिया रे तम मानकु समस्तंकु वी थॉट इट इज नीड देयर इज ए नीड गोटे दरकार अछि कि कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ एथिक्स एंड वैल्यूज टू इंटरनलाइज करबाकू, एंड सेटा को आमे कोन कहिलु जेहेतु एटा नेसेसरी आ पढ़िबा दरकार आ आजिर दुनिया रे सबुटु बेसी प्रेशर स्टूडेंट मानक यंग लोक मानक उपरे पड़ुची युवक मानक उपरे पड़ुची कि मु जहाँ करुची सेटा सत कि नहीं जदि केही किछि कहि पारु नांती आउ जदि जो एग्जांपल आदर्श माने भी सेया करू नांती ताले आमे सबु भूल भटका रास्ता रे जाउछु आउ जतेबेले आमे जाउछु आउ फेरी पासिया को रास्ता नहीं आमे पर्सनली हैम्पर होउछु आमे दुनियाटा को भी हैम्पर करूछु। तेणु आमे ये कोर्स रे एया चाहूथिलु मु तम मानकु फर्स्ट यूनिट पूर्वरु कहितली कि केते गुरे बर्निंग इश्यूज दैट कन्फ्रंट द मॉडर्न वर्ल्ड इन टर्म्स ऑफ एथिकल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट और एथिकल पॉजिटिव एक्शन सेगुरा को आमे आनिबु 6टा यूनिट रे आउ तम मानक संगे डिस्कशन करिबु ट्राइंग टू गेट यू इंटरनलाइज दिस एंड देन वर्क इन टर्म्स ऑफ ए प्रॉपर एथिकल कंडक्ट। सो प्रथम फर्स्ट यूनिट तमर थेला ऑन women and the social ethical issues related to it. It brought in the gender based conflict and associated norms of behavior. आमे केमिति करिबु मोर झियो पिलाटे मोर women is partly मो झियो मो माँ मो स्त्री मो भौणी आउ से जीवन सारा आमरी अराउंड आम पे काम करी चली चंती। So there is a need that we understand the problems that face today them because of either our heritage or because of the modern society or because of the circumstances, and then learn to give them value, learn to give them respect and recognize them as with as much dignity as we recognize ourselves, and then only the world will grow sustainably. So the sum and substance of कौन आमे पढ़ी फर्स्ट सेमिस्टर तम माने पढ़ी यू हैव गॉन थ्रू इन फैक्ट आई रिमेंबर नाउ द टीचर्स हु वेरी डिस्टिंग्विश्ड टीचर्स हु टॉट यू इन दैट सेशन did it in a manner where the entire life cycle from womb back to womb, the life cycle of a woman and the conflicts, the trouble, the bias that she faces and the contributions she makes and the need of bringing them together is something that we must recognize, internalize and take positive action. So now that is over. In the second semester we take up a new issue, and that is called good citizenship. Now ajira dunia ta communicated through world wide web. आमे जानिचु कि दुनियाटा एने इंटरनेट द्वारा कनेक्टेड है। बहुत लोग कहते वर्ल्ड हैज श्रंक, इट हैज बिकम फ्लैट, इट हैज बिकम वेरी स्मॉल, बट वी नो दैट स्टिल द वर्ल्ड इज आइडेंटिफाइड, ह्यूमन बीइंग्स आर आइडेंटिफाइड थ्रू नेशंस। जेमती एटम मॉलिक्यूल आर द आइडेंटिफाइड स्मॉलेस्ट यूनिट्स ऑफ केमिस्ट्री और फिजिक्स, सेमती तमरा ए नेशन is the smallest unit that operates independently and has a characteristics. And so आमे एने जहाँ पढ़िबू एई रे कि how to become a good citizen, develop character as a good citizen. Kaiki good citizen habu? Kena jodi gote desha mahan habo, a country needs to grow to its aspirational level. It must be having good, it must be able to build good citizens, because citizens build a nation. A nation is not built by itself, and so we must be able to build good citizens. And who is a good citizen? That will be defined in this. Sir jetebale sir mane jetebale padheibe, you will a good citizen is one who identifies himself or herself with the nation, loves it unconditionally, works for it, is ready to die for it, and builds it to be a sustainable unit in the panorama of human civilization and nations across the world. So, but good citizen is not limited to our boundaries, the national boundaries, it is across the nations. A good citizen is also a good global citizen and a good human being who has embraced all human values. So, এই চ্যাপ্ଟরে ଆମେ ଦେଖିବୁ ଗୋଟେ good citizen, ଭଲ ନାଗରିକ, ସୁନ୍ଦର ନାଗରିକ from the point of view of building a nation sustainably. So, this will be this. So, ତା ପୂର୍ବରୁ I think we need the areas, there are 4 units in this which build this good citizenship. Prathama hochi, how do we know, understand and identify with with a nation? What is a nation and how do we identify with it? That is first. Then every nation is ruled by a constitution and a set of rules and regulation. Now, it is necessary fundamentally all citizens to know about its constitution and its governance structure. Then patriotism, love your nation despite every nation has differences, but all as across differences, across religious differences, caste differences, opinion differences, political theory differences, idealism differences, we must be able to take ownership of the country, contribute towards its growth unconditionally, sacrifice for its welfare like armed forces, members of the armed forces do. So, patriotism is key to good citizenship. Then we must know a nation has millions of individuals. Take for example India, 1.35 billions of people today, and we must be able to work and have equity. Everybody should have equal facility and everybody should grow as much equally as possible. ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ଆଜିକାଲି of course this is a political slogan, but ସତରେ ଆପଣ ଯଦି ଦେଖିବେ सबका साथ सबका विकास, please don't take it as a political slogan, but this is actually true and a good citizen should do, and this can be done. It is our hypothesis and this is accepted across the world today. For young people, you can do this by volunteering to work beyond your definition of livelihood work. So, volunteerism is an essential aspect of nation building and this will be taught here, and you will also be taught how do you volunteer, what are mechanisms for volunteering and what is open for students to do and how to contribute to nation building apart from your professional work. Then the final that you will be do, you will be working somewhere, you will have a professional area, and at the professional level all of you should be productive, you should work as a team, because a team and a mob there is a difference. So, a team must work coherently, ସମସ୍ତେ ଏକା ସାଥିରେ ପରସ୍ପରକୁ ଯୋଡ଼ିକିରି କାମ କରିବେ, synergy, you know how to synergy, each one adds and the growth happens. Collaboration, team, there is a very interesting arithmetic from formula. The 4 people collaborate and each contribute 1 rupee, 1 plus 1 plus 1 does not become 4, because the collaboration contributes another 3 units and 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 probably becomes 7, 8, 9 depending on how you do the teamwork. This is an interesting concept. And so, teamwork, and the final thing is that Mahatma Gandhi's famous last man in the queue story, where you must be compassionate. If we are not compassionate in our social life and professional life, then we would never be able to lift everybody together and make our nation big. And so good citizenship, this chapter we will look at this. But I will talk to you a little about what is a nation, because it is necessary to understand what is a nation. Now, the conventional definition of a nation, Sangya hauchi, nation is a large group of people who are located in a distinct geographically defined area with strong bonds of identity, typically based on shared values, cultures, religion, history, language or ethnicity. This is, let us take India as an example. Now, if you look at our nation, that we are a large group of people, we are defined well geographically, and we are for centuries we are tied up. आमे समस्त एकाठी अछु, आमर धर्म अलगा हिची, but we share it, we share festivals, आमर value, sincerity, honesty, integrity, belief in God, we share, our history we share, history of subjugation and victories, language, India has probably one of the maximum languages and ethnicity. So, we are Indian, आमे भारतवासी, सेही सकाशे आमे गोटे नेशनर लोक, ये सबु कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स रिमेन्स विथ अस. भारत गोटे राष्ट्र, केमिति गोटे राष्ट्र कहा उपरे ठिया होय. प्रथम होउची द फाउंडेशन which is the wisdom of its heritage, its culture of the past. So, if you have read Indian history, तमने समस्त भारतर इतिहास जानिछ, आ तमे जानिछ how rich and how wise, how much full of wisdom, ज्ञानी is Bharatar past. Present accomplishment, if you look of the last 70 years of our emancipation, our independence, आमे स्वाधीन हबार 70 वर्ष भितरे आम देशर अचीवमेंट टाकू देखंतु. We will talk about some of them, but as a nation we have become industrialized. We have today 900 odd, 1000 odd universities in our education system. We are nationally secure. We have a fully developed science and technology program. We have a fully developed space program, and we do it cheaply and indigenously. आमे समस्ते निज हाथ रे करूछु. आमर pharmaceutical industry is probably one of the largest bulk pharmaceutical industry. Our bulk steel production is probably one of the largest. Amar information technology sector, service sector is probably one of the largest. And so ये जो बहुत समय रे आमे पॉजिटिव होउनी, आमे आउरी एस्पिरेशन करू एंड आमे भाबू कि आमर अचीवमेंट नाही, आमे आउरी करि पारि थांतु. एटा भलो कथा, because there should be something to think of. But you think of India's 1.35 billions of population. If you see science and technology personnel, probably fourth. You see the GDP today, it is sixth top GDP nations of the earth. So 70 ବର୍ଷରେ ଆମେ philosophically ଆମେ କିଛି କରିଛୁ, maybe we could have done, but 70 ବର୍ଷ in the life of a nation is a very small time. And so there is accomplishment of the and dreams of the future. You dream of $1 trillion economy, you dream to be world leaders, you dream to be industrially advanced, you dream to be science and technology. Dreams are always there, and some of the dreams are accomplished, we will see. But this is what makes a nation. Wisdom of the past, accomplishment of the present, which is the substantiality, and dreams of the future. India's past, आमे कथावार्ता हेलु. You just, I don't, मु आपन किछि कहिबार दरकार नाही. आपण ऋग्वेद, यजुर्वेद, सामवेद, अथर्ववेद, उपनिषद, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the entire system of world ethics, I have learnt at least from Gita. When Sri Krishna teaches Arjuna, you forget, don't bring religion into it. As scriptures, as texts, as knowledge, as wisdom, as skill, India's past is rich with ancient wisdom. As a geographical entity, since it defines a nation, it is bounded by Himalaya, mighty Himalaya, and then chari taraf samudra, beautiful Indian Ocean. Now, so geographically we are defined as a nation, and our heritage, the river Ganges, as it flows down the Gangotri glacier, it symbolizes the rich heritage. Ganga kulare basi amar half of our civilization is tied off with Ganga. And so you see languages in India, varieties of languages, dialect, and each language has its cultural history. Odia is now a classical language, and to be classified as a classical language, you should have a history of 2500 years. And that is what, so all languages, a dialect, they speak their own cultural history, including the tribal dialects. The incredibly magnitude of India as such, the diversity, more than 300 languages spoken and more than 1500 dialects and 22 official languages, 28 states, 8 union territories, huge area 3.28 million square kilometers, 1.35 billion population, and newspaper, khali newspaper, you know how many newspaper? Daily 1 lakh, the last estimate was somewhere around 1 lakh, 6,000 dailies, 15,000 probably weeklies, God knows how many periodicals, and a circulation of maybe 150, 160 million. GDP as of 2022, 2.66 trillion, and this is world's largest, 6th largest economy. It is a nation which embraced multitude of religion. ବିଭିନ୍ନ religion ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଜାଗାରେ ଆସିଛି, ସମସ୍ତେ ଏକାଠି ହେଇ ସମସ୍ତେ ଏକାଠି ନୂଆ ନୂଆ thoughts, new religious thoughts have emerged, and probably Ramakrishna Paramahansa is one who brought or synthesized all of them and symbolized all of them, and the synergy of religious thoughts is probably one of the great things. Come to ideologies, free market, capitalism, liberalism, socialism. Ask what thoughts, what ideologies in one nation which has survived 70 years and prospered is defined as India. India's freedom struggle, all you know, was unique because it was a democratic nation established through non-violence for the first time as a political tool. Then you think about how do you build a nation. How do we build a nation? If you are a good citizen, you should understand how will you, if I ask you, you are a nation builder, tell me how will you build a, build self-esteem, your own, tamara atma samman rahiba katha, kemiti rahibo. If you are excellent, if you are right, if you are ethical, if you have a good value and you do what is needed to be done, if you have a clarity of vision, then building strength, excellence, equity and leadership, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଏକାଠି ନେଇ ଚାଲିବି, responsibility ନେବି, ଦେଶର strength, ମୋର କାମର strength, ମୋର ପାଠର strength ବଢ଼େଇବି, and it will be the best. Excellence with equity is our goal in every field, that ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ନବା ସାଥିରେ, but will reach excellence ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ସାଥିରେ, ଏକୁଟିଆ ସେଠି ବସିକିରି କିଛି କରିବା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ. We will do it together. We must be proud of our achievement, not be sad in what we have not achieved. गर्व करंतु जहाँ करिचंती, एंड आपण माने भारतीय माने बहुत किछि करूचंती करिचंती, आमे सदा बेले फोकस करूचु आमे कोन करि पारिलुनी, सदा बेले आमे विकल कि आमे एटा करि पारिनुनी काहेकि, भलो आशा रखंतु, आशाटा सदा बेले कंप्लीट होयनी, बट बी प्राउड दैट वी हैव डन, दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव डन एज ए स्टूडेंट, you have done, आज जाइंकि हॉस्टल सामने सफाई करिचंती, बी प्राउड दैट you have done this. Hostel 1 is adjudged तम मानकर as the best hostel, be proud in the achievement, not कि हाँ कौन है गला. So and the bottom line is have, जहाँ मु एपर्यंत कहूची, have a positive national spirit. Nation is the smallest identifiable unit of human society that is there today, and let's have a national spirit. Now let me tell you about an instance of national spirit. Now after a long time you have seen recently that film 1983. Now 1983 the team went thinking that आमे खेलिबाकू जाउछु टिके तापरे world tour करिके आसीबू, but they won the World Cup, and cricket in India has never been the same again, and that is an example of national pride national positivity, national spirit. That is one great example, and you should learn that we should be proud and we should have confidence and we should do things ourselves without bothering about who is going to help us, without crying why they are not helping us, without bothering who is looking down, who is looking up. If you are good, if you do all these four things, have a self-esteem, build an excellence with equity, be proud and be national, have a national positive national spirit, you will prevail. There is nothing that can stop you. आपण मानक मु गोटे कथा कहूँ मु जितेबले आपण मान भाया युवक थी केतेबले बाहर देश को जाऊँगी केतेबले मु बहुत थर स्टोरी कहे कि बाहर इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट रे बसुली से आमको डर लगुला जाकि मागिबाकू कि पानीटे किणबू शोष होची सेठी तमे पानी पी पारिबनी टैप्रु यूरोप भितर तेणु तमे अपेक्षा करिवो किए गोटे आउ गोटे इंडियन जी टिके बेसी दादागिरी जना पड़ुची भल लीडर जना पड़ुची ताऊ कहबी आज दिन में मु गोटे इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट जो बसुची मोर जो झील पुओ भारतीय माने जाउछंती से माने चालुचंती से एयरपोर्ट रे जेमती से माने ए एयरपोर्ट टाकू किणिकी निजर करिसंती. इट इज एज इफ दे ओन एंड दैट इज द नेशनल प्राइड, दैट इज द नेशनल स्पिरिट, दैट इज द इफेक्ट ऑफ service sector belonging to India today, and we all should emulate this, and that is why you should learn the national pride and good citizenship. There is another example that I will give you. India was a poor nation, and at some time when atomic energy started, R.K. Lakshman gote cartoon करिथिला गोटे सगड़ गाड़ी रे गोटे एटम बम रखिरी नेहरू बसचंती सेटा थला कार्टून. जेतेबेले 74 मसिया रे प्रथम बुद्धा स्माइल्ड, फर्स्ट पोखरन एक्सप्लोजन हैपेंड, इंडिया को पूरा सबु प्रकार एड बंद हो गला. आमे गोटे इलेक्ट्रोनिक सर्किट पे कि को देश दबा को राजी हेलानी. एंड डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एटॉमिक एनर्जी अंडर होमी जहांगीर भाभा से नथिले कि तांको कल्चर रे डिड एवरीथिंग देमसेल्व्स. एंड अगेन इन 97-98 you had Buddha smiled, and India is self sufficient today. And that is another symbol of our national pride. Pokhran, the Buddha smile. Third is space, winning and maintaining the space at 1/10 of the cost. The space technologies 1/10 of the cost जोटा बाहर देश करि पारु नाहंती. That is the concept of national pride and a very quiet, very silent statement of the strength of a nation. And students, you should recognize this, that you have these strengths, and these strengths have emerged out of people who have come from very ordinary circumstances, like Abdul Kalam, like Vikram Sarabhai, many of them, and they have built this because they had this positive feeling, national pride and a good citizenship, and that is what is clarity of vision. So, the building of a nation is brick by brick, and by taking everyone together, the security of a nation, you all know now the Russia-Ukraine war, you are seeing it, and that is an example of why you should build a nation's strength, a burning example. Then food, the security of food, then the security of water, then the security of education, then health care, then energy, infrastructure and industrial production. And it is necessary that people like you work ethically, work in the right manner, work as a good citizen to build all this, because if you build all this, then only the concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat and Vishwaguru, all these are going to come actually true. Now that I have told you how a nation is defined and how you should behave towards your nation, this unit is going to make you internalize first your constitution. Indian constitution and its preamble is acknowledged as the best in the world, and it defines everything that the citizen has right to get and duty to do: justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and to promote fraternity, dignity of the individual and unity and dignity of a nation. Remember, whether he is a rickshaw puller, whether he is a daily worker, whether he is a garbage lifter or whether he is the governor of a state, justice or an academician like me, all have the same dignity, dignity of being an Indian and dignity of being an upright individual who does his job. Let me tell you the kind of ethical conflicts that corona brought. Now when corona came, everybody stayed home for the first wave, before the first wave. But have you seen, apart from your healthcare workers, the garbage lifter comes every day to lift the garbage, whether there is corona or not. And I was extremely impressed. Ki look at his ethics, look at his value system. He lifts, he could say, nahi, corona ka dar hai, mu to jai paribini re bapa. But every day regularly he comes, and it actually influenced me hell of a lot, and there is a lot to learn from everyone, human dignity, and that is what you will learn in the Constitution. And so the preamble of the Constitution is one thing that will be taught in this. Then of course we have talked about patriotism, where you have a special affection or bond with your country, owning and your identity, you identify with the nation. तमे देशर आउ देश तमर एटा गोटे निहाती आवश्यक एंड एटा जो दिन हम सेटा तमर कल्चरल आइडेंटिटी इट ऑलरेडी डिफाइन्स यू आर एन इंडियन डोंट बदर इंडिया रे को जगह तमे आसुच किए जानी न जानी कहीं बदर करुच तमे जानिच एंड तमे जानिच तम जगह भल तम जगह तमर मदरलैंड डू यू वरी कि तम माटा भल देखा जाउची खराब देखा जाउची इज इट वरिंग यू इट नेवर वरीज यू सो इट इज नेसेसरी to own your identity to your nation, always get engaged in the welfare of the nation, constitutional duty, your duty must be done, follow the constitution in letter and spirit, be law abiding and be ready to do the supreme sacrifice in case it is needed. And if patriotism is the greatest uniting force, and that is what you will learn, and I am sure the symbol of patriotism, national flag, national anthem, national language, you will learn, and I am sure you will enjoy that. We have talked about volunteerism as one of the most integral part, and volunteerism is when you work without any expectation of any return except your internal satisfaction. Look at the underprivileged children, look at elders like me who are, their children have left for USA and left in somewhere looking कि क्या करें कैसे, particularly in corona time the old people were in great trouble and lot of volunteers helped. So there is a great voluntary sector in India and it should grow and it should be consisting of youth. तमरी मानक भलिया पिला voluntary work कले तमर character building हबो and दुनिया भी the country will gain, but more than that the greatest achievement will be you will build your character to be a leader of people, a leader of men and build strength of character where so volunteerism जतबे पढ़िबो पिला माने एटा मने रखिथा कि सेथरे या कहाबो कि एई सेक्टर रे तमे भारी खुशी रे करि परिबो. ब्लड डोनेशन इज वन, organ donation is the other, and there are many जाइकरी ओल्ड एज होम रे काम करंतु. दे आर लोक पिलांगु जो abandoned children तांको संगे remember it Sinclair Lewis once said कि if I bring at the end of a day smile in the face of one child, गोटे छुआ को जदी हसई दी पारली अंतररू ताले मु I am a successful man that day, and all of you will become successful people if you give in to true volunteerism. And then of course at workplace you must be punctual, you must be clean, you must abide by safety, you must do teamwork and you must respect your co-worker. In short, you should do, show professionalism. Sri Subrat Bagchinkar, Dr. Subrat Bagchi wrote a bohi achi professionals, and I think sometime you may read it. It's a beautiful work which describes professionalism in its various aspects, and honesty, sincerity, rational thinking, continuous learning, leadership, professional code of conduct and academic ethics. You will learn a little about all that. I will only give you a story about punctuality that I am very fond of telling, so you can give in to the vagaries of an old man कि एटा मते भल लागे कहबाकू. गोटे दिन रे केते सेकेंड अछि 186,000 बोधे if you count. Now क्लास को टीचर अध घंटे डेरे आसिले 100टा पिला बसचन तांको पेंकी अध घंटे माने 30 मिनिट माने केते सेकेंड हला 1800 सेकेंड 1800 सेकेंड आपण गुणी दियंतु 100 पिला संगे केते हला रे बापा 1800 पुणी दीटा शून्य लाग गला सेतिकी सेकेंड इज लॉस्ट मैन सेकेंड ताको आमे कहू मनीष सेकेंड बिकॉज somebody is half an hour late. So Gandhiji कहते you should always be punctual. Why? Because that is the correct ethic, that is the correct moral value and it transcends time. मु आज कहे मु 100 वर्ष तले जेतेबेले सोसाइटी नथिला ओब्लिगेशन नथिला बट पंक्चुअलिटी माने तमे काहाकू इफ यू आर नॉट पंक्चुअल you are keeping something or somebody waiting and you are wasting their time and that definitely is not right. So एमती यही जो वर्क प्लेस एथिक्स यही गुड़ाक टिके देखु सेफ्टी तुम मैंने कॉलेज रे पढ़ुछ जाओ केमिस्ट्री लैबोरेटरी देख फ्यूम गुड़ाक बाहर को जावा दरकार ना नहीं एग्जस्ट फैन अच्छी हवा चलुची कौटी गोटे एक्सीडेंट हो गले बाहर को दौड़ को दीटा रास्ता अच्छी दीज आर वर्क प्लेस सेफ्टी एंड दे मस्ट बी डन. सो यही जो जिनस गुड़ाक एथिक्स एट वर्क प्लेस विल ऑल्सो बी टॉट इन दिस एंड आई एम श्योर this the good citizenship not only you will learn, not only you will enjoy, in the process you will internalize and the country will gain. So students, what have we done today? We have learnt, summarized the ethics including the first unit bit just the core values. आउ तापरे आमे कथावार्ता हेलु good citizenship रो जो चारिटा पोर्शन and at the center core रे अच्छी nation. Because if you are a citizen, you are citizen of a nation and citizen of a world and world consists of nations. And so we defined a nation in the context of the Indian nation. India रा context रे आमे define कलु तापर आमे बुझेलु good citizen हवा पे nation building रो काम केमिति आ कोन करिया को पड़िबो and then we came that we in this unit once we understand what is a nation we will learn about the constitution, internalize it. Internalize बुझुचंती मु अंतर्गम करिवि ओके तो सेटा को हृदबोध करिवि जाऊ कहंती. सो हृदबोध करिवि constitution and its values because this is a value education. Then मु बुझिबि patriotism, how do I love my country without any precondition. And then voluntarism, how do I contribute to my country without expecting anything in return. And finally, how do I be right and ethical and a value system पालन केमिति करिबि मु जोटी काम करूची. And I am sure if you learn this, if you internalize this and practice in your daily, you will be a nation builder in no time. Thank you very much and God bless you.